can I bring you a Patronut down right now as you start your show, Stuart?
Yes. You could. Stop it.
You want a bite?
Hey, wait a minute. I was about to say congratulations, Maria. You got some clarity from Donald Trump on the issue of taxes.
Oh, I'm so glad you thought so. Great. No, I think so too, Stuart. I mean, it was a lot of headlines this weekend, that's for sure.
Don't come down here with that sugary stuff. I'm on a high already, you know what I mean?
I won't. Have a good show, Stu.
We did get some clarity from Donald Trump on taxes, and good morning, everyone. Point number one. Trump proposes to cut taxes, but he might have to negotiate less of a tax cut. Got that? 2, he tackles the debt by buying back Treasury bonds if and when their price goes down. 3, he wouldn't touch Social Security, but he would go after waste, fraud and abuse. Trump and the Republican Party, how far apart are they? A stunning revelation from the president's top foreign policy spin doctor, Ben Rhodes. He deliberately misled everyone about the Iran nuke deal. The liberal media eagerly bought his line that Iran was run by moderates and everything will be okay. It's bathroom decision day for North Carolina. The feds say if you have to use the bathroom of your gender birth, it is a civil rights violation and you lose billions. North Carolina responds later today. On the market, Taylor, 2 stocks. Former darling Apple stuck in the doldrums. Formerly out-of-fashion McDonald's hits new highs. Who would have thought? And who would have thought this video would provoke such intense discussion? Yeah. We will bring you that baby's mom. She will give us the full story. Varney and Company, yeah, we're about to begin. All right, Monday morning, we'll start this market just a tad higher. It looks to me like pretty flat. At 17.7, and that's where we'll open from. We're about 500-600 points from the record close. I mean, that's somewhere in the distance, perhaps, but 600 points away. Now, look at oil. Got 2 stories there. Saudi Arabia, the oil minister out. And the new guy is probably not going to cut production or freeze production. So that keeps a lot of oil on the market. And, of course, there's still a glut. But Canada's wildfire, that's taking oil off the market. All right, Ash, let's get some developments here.
Yeah.
Ashley, start with Canada, latest.
Well, the good news is cooler weather, rain yesterday, cooler temperatures today. They can start to get a handle on it. 400,000 acres burned. But the other good news is that it didn't get close enough to affect those major oil sands facilities. They were closed or partially shut down in anticipation of the fire, but the fire never really reached those oil sands operations, which is good news because once they get a handle on this, they can start ramping up production again.
So if you couple that with Saudi Arabia, which is probably not going to cut production or even freeze production. They keep pumping.
He's Khalid Al-Falah. He's going to be taking over as oil minister. And this is really all the strings are being pulled by the Deputy Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, who's wanting to take control.
That's that gentleman?
Yeah, no, it's his son.
It's his son, right.
And it's all about Iran, Stuart. They do not want Iran to get any more market share. They're trying to knock them down. And this new oil minister is essentially a puppet. He's not going to be operating independently. And also Saudi Arabia is trying to diversify away from oil revenue only.
But the bottom line for the oil market this morning is prices are down in part because of those 2 developments.
Yes.
Got it. All right. Politics. Yeah. Bread and butter for us. Yeah. Over the weekend, Donald Trump confused a lot of people. You know, it sounded like he wanted to raise taxes on the wealthy. Listen to this.
When I'm negotiating with the Democrats, I'm putting in a plan. I'm putting in my optimum plan. It's going to be negotiated, Judge. It's not going to stay there. They're not going to say, there's your plan, let's approve it. They're going to say, let's see what we can do. Now, it'll be a negotiation. I will try and keep everything.
All right. On NBC, he implied that those negotiations he was talking about there would, in fact, raise taxes on the wealthy. That's what he implied. Now here's what he just said on Maria's show about 90 minutes ago.
I'm not talking about a tax increase. I'm talking about a tremendous tax decrease, okay? And it was misreported by NBC. I said, of the low proposal, yeah, I may have to raise it a little bit because this is a negotiation. I may have to raise it. I'm really going to fight hard for the middle class. I'm not raising it, and I'm not raising it in a business, but I could see the wealthy getting raised. But I'm not talking raised from where they are now. I'm talking about raised from my low proposal.
Okay, that clarifies it. I'm going to boil this down. Less of a tax cut, raise the minimum wage if that's what states want, no Social Security reform, and buy back the debt if its price goes down. We got that? Robert Jeffries is here, a Trump supporter. Seems to me, Robert, that Trump is moving to the left. I don't want to say the left, but he's moving more towards the center, maybe to accommodate the Republican Party. What do you think?
It's called the art of the deal. Yeah. It's negotiation, and it's fine up to a point. Look, if Republicans had wanted a strict ideologue who never bends, never compromises, shuts down the government, they would have chosen Ted Cruz. But they didn't. They want somebody who's going to get things done. Now, look, the trick for Trump going forward is going to be to figure out what's negotiable and what's non-negotiable, not only with fiscal conservatives, but with social conservatives like myself. Trump's a smart guy. He's going to figure it out.
But he better not back too far away from tax cuts as the way to get growth in the private sector of the economy. If he starts negotiating maybe a tax increase with the Democrats, I mean, where does that leave Republicans?
Well, he was very clear. He was talking about increasing from his original proposal, not from current levels right now. And look, Stuart, there's a number everybody needs to remember. The number is 12 million. That's how many votes he will have received by the time the primaries are over next month, more than any other candidate in Republican history. I think it is laughable that Paul Ryan is withholding support, thinking he's going to make Trump fall in line with him. Well, look, Trump is the head of the Republican Party, not Paul Ryan.
But what about no Social Security reform? I mean, that's an entitlement program that really is breaking the bank here. And, okay, raise the minimum wage. If that's what the states want, raise the minimum wage. He's backtracking on so many fundamental principles of being in the Republican Party.
I think he is saying that he is open to negotiation. And look, you cannot deny, Stuart, that he has won an overwhelming victory. People know what his position is. They like his position. And again, I think he will fall in the right position by the time all of this is over. He is just saying, I'm open to negotiating. People are tired of the gridlock, Stuart. They want something done.
They're not
clarity. Interested in strict ideology. Yes.
I think they want clarity. I think Maria got some clarity from him earlier on this network. All right, Robert, I've got to run.
Yes,
but thanks for joining us, as always, so appreciate it. I'm going to stay on Trump for a moment. He is trying to explain his position on women and paint the Clintons. He's going on the attack. He's painting the Clintons, both of them, as very bad for women. Listen to this.
She was an unbelievably nasty, mean enabler. And what she did to a lot of those women is disgraceful. Nobody in this country, and maybe in the history of the country politically, was worse than Bill Clinton with women. Have you ever read what Hillary Clinton did to the women that Bill Clinton had affairs with? And they're going after me with women? Give me a break, folks.
Okay, Kirsten Hagland is with us now. So he goes on the attack. The women's issue, if I can put it like that. He attacks his opponent, a female, on the women's issue.
Right.
Is it going to work?
It's a great charm offensive, isn't it? It's really going to work.
But does it work?
No, and I think no. A majority of Republican women do not like Donald Trump, and although there are some that do, this is going to be a major problem for him in the general election. And even though I do tend to agree with what he's saying in principle about the fact that Hillary did not stand up for some of the women that Bill Clinton didn't treat very well at all. Consider the source. I mean, look at what Donald Trump has said about, he's bragged about his affairs. He's bragged about multiple divorces. He's talked about their body parts, their appearances, in just revolting ways. You can't take those statements back. And that is going to resonate in the minds of women. And, you know, I think we'd all love to see Hillary be a little more transparent about those struggles. But ultimately, Donald Trump, this is not the way to go if he wants to attract women.
I don't think he's going to win over any female votes, women votes, based on that rhetoric. Nope.
No, absolutely
I really
not.
don't.
He's got a point.
He does. And as Chris says, I
enable.
agree with him, with his characterization of Hillary Clinton, but I don't think, based on what he said before, it's going to have any impact on gaining more voters from women.
Last word.
And millennial women, that's a lot of people that he really needs to bring in the young vote. That's me. And I can tell you, a lot of us weren't necessarily around and thinking and watching when the whole Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky thing was happening in the 90s, even though I'm a student of history, so I learned about it. But well, they don't remember that.
I suspect that Donald Trump will refresh your memory.
So unfortunately, I don't want to hear about it for the next 6 months.
All right, so let's get to the